Limited resources and scarcity. We all have wants and needs, but what is the difference between them? Wants are desires that can be satisfied by a good or service, like I want a new bike. Needs are required goods or services, like I need food, clothing, shelter to live. Think about some of the things you want. Do you want a new toy, the latest video game, a new pair of shoes? You could probably make a pretty long list of the things you want. But there's one problem with getting everything he or she wants, and that is scarcity. Scarcity is when there's a short supply of it, whether that's money, food, materials, products, or services available. There is a restricted amount on limited numbers of resources available, and that influences our choices. For example, Lisa wants to buy some new clothes at the mall, but she only has a certain amount of money to spend. Because, come here, Katie. Because of her limited resources, which is money, she has to make choices about what to buy. Although she may want a dress, a coat, a pair of jeans, and a t-shirt, her limited resources cause her to choose only the dress and the coat. These are the best choices for her. Another example is about a family going to a carnival. The mom and dad took $100 to spend at the amusement park. They bought tickets to get in that cost $20 per ticket. They budgeted $40 for food. Tommy wanted a hot dog, french fries, an ice cream cone, cotton candy. Even if his mom and dad bought no food for themselves, the cost of Tommy's meal would be too much. This is where their family decision-making occurred. As a family, they had to decide what food to buy so that each person could eat. They decided they would have enough money for Tommy to choose one thing. Then Tommy had to engage in personal decision-making. He had to choose an ice cream cone or cotton candy. Because the family had limited resources and unlimited wants, they had to make decisions. Limited resources and scarcity. Limited resources means only a certain amount of resources are available. Water, oil, and coal are examples of limited resources. The lack of resources affects different states in different ways. For instance, an energy crisis could occur in Texas because of very hot summer temperatures. During the summer months in Texas, people in large cities use a lot of energy cooling homes and businesses. A limited supply of energy during these months could mean that the state has to force blackouts, which the electricity goes off for a certain amount of time. Wyoming is the top coal producing state in the US, but what might happen if too much coal is produced? Eventually, the supply will run out. Once coal is extracted and burned, it produces a lot of pollution. Imagine the effects if more coal was produced at a faster rate. Even more pollution would occur. Nevada mines the most gold in the United States. Gold is another limited resource. Gold is very useful and valuable, and some economies use gold as means of currency. This limited resources affects not only the consumer who buys gold jewelry, but also those who use electronics, certain types of machinery, and space equipment. All of these products have parts made from gold. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has more miles of impaired streams and rivers than any state in the United States. If a stream is impaired, it means the water's quality is poor and not up to standards. Acid mines draining in urban and agricultural runoff have affected these streams and rivers in negative ways. They can cause problems for the animals that rely on these waterways for survival. It can also affect the recreational use of the streams for people who like to fish, boat, and swim. Florida's wildlife habitat is decreasing because more and more people are moving there and new land is being developed into communities. Millions of acres of forest and wetlands have been converted into housing developments. The pollution growth and increasing tourism industry have affected many of the natural habitats of Florida animals, causing some animal species to disappear. Quick quiz. What is a want? Simple enough, right? something needed to live, something that is desired, or a natural resource? Okay. Question number 2. Limited resources affect different locations. How? In different ways, in the same ways, or not at all? What about number 3? Impaired streams are what? Found only in Alaska, cleanest waters you can have, or not very clean or safe waters? Think about it.